Right. Mic check. Mic check. Right. Mic check. Mic check. I think someone told me last stream I did that I had like a real bad static. Mic check. Mic check. I think someone told me last stream I did that I had like a real bad static. But anyways, how's everybody doing tonight? What's going on, AMR? I think the last stream we did, we was talking about MLS men, and today, today we're about to talk about light-skinned black people in general. I've never really. I think this topic has been long overdue because tonight we're about to talk about light-skinned blacks, some issues of light-skinned blacks, and I'm even going to talk about some of the things that I've noticed in the space when it pertains to light-skinned blacks. Because there's one thing I'll say about the Golden Sphere, it definitely was created with MLS people in mind, but there's a lot of people that have took issue with the Golden Sphere for the exact same reason. Because light skinned black people are a part of the conversation, if that makes any sense. And those are issues we all about to discuss tonight. And we're even about to talk about the term light skinned black itself when you think about it. No such thing as a light skinned black because no people call light skinned black people in Africa. I guess that may or may not be true, but in America, it's pretty much been a term that's been around for quite a while. And I think the thing with like light skinned black people in general is most of the time, oh, hey, fair minded. I think most of the time when it comes to light skinned black people, we're mostly identified with the black community because that's really all throughout history, that's pretty much been what we've identified with socially, politically, all that good stuff. And I think that within itself kind of gives certain people in the black community kind of a sense of entitlement when you think about it. Because even in with this space itself, one thing I've noticed is that it seems like there's a lot of outsiders that are just trying to say that light skinned black people are theirs, if that makes any sense. And I never thought we would get to a point in time where there would be. I never thought it would get to a point in time where it would just be people that think that they own a particular group of people, regardless of how they identify. Um, that's a slippery slope when you think about it because there's a lot of light-skinned black people that can have like 90, 80 to sometimes even 95% African ancestry. The whole the black gene itself is very genetically diverse. So it really just all depends. I guess you could say light skinned black and then recognize dark skinned whites. Um, I think I would like a little clarity on that comment. Low level content and disrespect. One thing that I've kind of noticed when it comes to like light skinned black people itself is that a lot of people try to say that it's just a biracial thing, but when it comes to like the stereotypes within themselves, it really doesn't matter. And then you got confusion as to what light skin is, which is just a whole different like um oh okay, back to what I was it's like nobody knows what light skin is. It's like everyone has like a different like perception of what it is. Like there's some people that say, "Oh, hey Kimmy, that light skin is caramel skin." There's some people that even was go as far to say like brown skin is light skin, and then you got those people that think that you practically have to be a color of a white person to be considered light skinned nowadays. um, I never said the black gene was dominant. I think you might be confusing me with some of the people of the pro black space. If anything, I say the exact opposite. It doesn't really take, when you think about it, it really doesn't take that long to breed out the black gene. Like, if I know it doesn't happen a lot, but if a light skinned black person has a baby by a white person, then that baby is going to come out looking like a quadroon. You've seen it countless times in the case of the Houseys and the Thandi Newton's daughters of the world. Mm, absolutely, they do. Yeah, that definitely is the case. I think the issue we're having here is that it, with the way America is, and the social constructs and racial constructs have been created, it America pretty much has said it where it's pretty much you're either black or you're white or just an entire different group together. There's really nobody is really trying to create subcategories, although that probably would make more sense down the line. But everyone's pretty much just lumped into one box. And I think that's where a lot of the confusion and issues start to come in. Well, if that's the way you present yourself and the way your phenotype looks, then it's probably going to be the case. And light-skinned black people as a whole, it just gets to a point where even in the golden sphere itself, it was created by light-skinned black people, but there have been a lot of people that have took issue with the fact that light-skinned black people are in the golden sphere because there's a lot of shaming. Yeah, that person was starting to get a little. I mean, I get having comments, but it got to a point where it was kind of hostility after a while. But anyways, it just comes to a point where light-skinned black people are just as welcome in the golden sphere as anybody else. And there are certain individuals that have took issue with that since the very beginning because it nowadays it's pretty much, especially when it comes to MLS men, nowadays it just has gotten to a point where you're pretty much expected to always put the black community and its needs first, even to your own detriment. And I would say that light-skinned black men have slowly but surely are finally starting to get that memo. Because you don't really see light-skinned black men like going as hard in the paint for the black community. And that's with very good reason. All you gotta do is just look at the way light-skinned black men are viewed in the black community nowadays. Like, who would fight for that? Like, who's going to fight for a community that doesn't even respect? Exactly. Like, there's nothing to prove anymore. And a lot of people are just trying to come in with these talking points like people actually are obligated to fight for them, but we're not obligated to fight for anyone anymore. You guys have proven that you are not looking out for our best interests, so why should we look out for yours? And the term light skinned black is an interesting term when you think about it. And like I said, it's just gotten to a point where everything is just so skewed and pretty much just thrown into it's like people, when you say light skinned black, what do you really even, who would you consider that? Because you got people like Steph Curry that pretty much come from two very light skinned black people. who are pretty much MGMs, and he's a MGM. So what do you consider him? And that's where it kind of gets a little confusing because I think a lot of people have said in the space that the light skinned black is pretty much determined by light skinned black people that maybe every now and then come from like two dark skinned parents. That happens every now and then, but it doesn't happen too often. And then, to be honest with you, light skinned black people have just been guilt tripped to the heavens. Like it's gotten to the point now where we have just went so far down the I guess you could say pro black self righteous rabbit hole that you got people that don't even who are practically as light as a brown paper bag saying that they're not light skinned anymore. It's like, well, I'm not actually light skinned, and it's like it has it come to this? Has it really come to this? Have people really gotten to a point with all these little colorism think pieces and all? It's like, oh, you have to acknowledge that light skinned people have it better. Has it gotten to the point where people don't even want to acknowledge what they are anymore? Like this stuff has just gotten out of hand. See, well, it most definitely has. Because I've been in these colorism spaces for quite a while, and one thing that I have noticed that it seems like when it comes to MLS men in the spaces, it seems to be a little bit of pandering. Like I've seen count. I'm not going to name any names because I'm trying to keep this stream a little on the cordial side, but I've just seen a lot of MLS men that just seem to go real hard in the paint for darker skinned black people. And it's like when you listen to these guys talk, you would swear that they weren't even the pigment that they say they are by the way they speak. It's like they talk about themselves to a point where it literally looks like they would just, if they could, they would completely switch their own skin tone. And it just gets to a point where, so does being pro black meaning that you have to hate yourself if you're light skinned nowadays? Is that what it's come to? Because I don't know where this supposed pro blackness has come from, but last I checked, pro blackness is about uplifting every phenotype, not just one, not just feeling uplifting one and crapping on the other. Because if that's what pro blackness is, then they can have it. And a lot of people try to say that it's not like that, but all we got to do is just look between the lines and look what's being said and look at what is being done. Look what's not getting called out. Look what's just going. passing on by and that nobody's saying anything about. Like, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to see what is happening here. And the joke is on us. And it's like light skinned black people, we have fought more than anybody to get the black community where it is today. And it doesn't seem like we get it like any respect for it. It's like nowadays people care more about who's in a rapper's music video than history nowadays. Like rap, just because you're not in a rapper's music video, that doesn't mean that it everything has to do with colorism. Because I just found out, I forgot where I believe I saw it on a video, but it comes to find out that Chris Brown was wrongfully accused of colorism, and he posted receipts to prove it. So this man has been sitting here all this time getting slandered by the very people that have been slandering him for months just because he had a lighter skin complexion, and come to find out it was a lie. A lie. This man has been getting dragged through every pro black street you could find over a lie. And that's what we have today. It's always one way. It never goes the other way. No, and of course, no apologies. No, okay, hold on. I'm gonna share my. I'm gonna see if I can find it real quick. Uh, okay, here we go. Here we go. Okay, y'all just bear with me for a second. This was 6 days ago, might I add. Okay, don't do this to me. What's up, Amar?
Nah, nothing much was going on, man.
I'm just trying to post this site real quick.
Okay.
Okay, share screen.
But yeah, though. But you know what? I'm glad that you touch. I'm glad you touching on this though,
Most definitely. I got
because
to.
even I myself, you know, had to again like just sit back and just think about it for a second. I'm like, yeah, it's been nothing but a bunch of smearing going on regarding Chris Brown himself, and I mean not just him, but they did it with J. Cole, they did it with Drake. Hell, they'll even do it to any other MLS man if they're not going along with what the status quo narrative is. And I noticed that even when these and who was it that said this? It was a dude by the name of Jada Black who said, you know what, when people don't get their way, they'll start lying just to get you in trouble with a certain particular group of people.
Right.
And that's why people's reputations
Okay.
get destroyed.
Okay. Do y'all see it?
A little bit.
Oh yeah, it went good, Tor. I just have to. I've been trying to edit a few couple of things to add to it. I've been working on doing like some of those like football videos for the collage. Trying to add like edits to them similar to what you see in like other like sports related YouTube channels. This thing is trying its very best to lock up on me. Oh man.
It's not working.
Well, it's kind of loading slow. Sometimes
Oh,
when you post sites like this, when you're streaming, sometimes it's slow. The service down.
oh yeah, I know how that is.
Well, as long as it doesn't crash my studio, I think we'll be okay.
Hey, LSP.
Okay, I think I got it. How's it going, LSP? See, these pop-ups definitely don't help. Harold. Is that your name? Okay. They were initially handpicking white girls. Okay, y'all see it?
Oh yeah, I see it now.
Look, see? Yeah, I see it right there. But see, he's getting dragged through the mud over a lie.
And you know what? And the thing
I
is
remember
that, and because
when that had first happened, too. Oh, hold on. This thing is really laggy right now, it looks like. This thing is really laggy right now, it looks like. It's really laggy right now. Okay, let me try to hurry up and get this thing down before.
Okay, I'm back. Can you hear me? Oh, what's going on, Future? Yeah, I guess Brown and Beige is still trying to load up this page real quick, and right now it's giving them some technical difficulties.
Okay, I think next time we won't be too smart to put a screen with pop-ups in the middle of the stream. But anyways, y'all saw the Instagram story he posted. He was getting dragged to filth basically for lies.
Yeah, I saw that. And you know what? And this pretty much and really, and it came from, apparently from some black girls out of the UK because he's doing a tour right now in the UK. Well, pretty much doing a world tour.
Definitely.
And so when, but here's the thing though, but even before the tour in the UK, like he was doing these like meet and greets and whatever, where you could take a picture with him. And he pretty much had everybody taking pictures with him, including, including black women were in these photos.
Well, the problem is people don't realize you can't just be throwing accusations out at people just because Like he could have denied that girl for any reason. To just throw like something out there like that can
Yeah.
really like damage like whole careers. Like this man has been getting like attacked nonstop for this lady's lies. And it's like she never came out and like apologize or clear his name or anything.
In an attempt to try in an attempt to try to cancel him.
Yeah, it's like you can't just be throwing accusations out, especially like somebody on Chris Brown's status. Because all it takes is like something like that to catch wind, and he could lose like thousands, if
Yeah,
not
yeah,
millions, of sales.
exactly.
Like these are people's careers that people are putting on the line basically for lies. And you would think that people would be coming to Chris Brown's defense. Because I know even a lot of black male YouTubers that were hopping on Chris Brown's case, but nobody has. I don't think I've seen like any videos for anybody talking about what Chris Brown has been going through all this time. And it just goes to show you like what we're talking about today with light skinned blacks. Like we're fighting for a community that doesn't even come to our defense half the time.
Or let you know, people who are like these panderers that will side with the accusers because again they have the same agenda.
Facts. Oh, hey, the future is going. If I hadn't said hi to you, trying my best to keep this thing from crashing down on me again. Exactly, it's lopsided.
And going back to the point that you made, going back to what you made said earlier about you know how you said that you heard somebody say that you know a certain group of people, you know, regardless of you know again regarding their phenotype belongs to the black community. I've heard the same thing that light skinned always belong to the black community, and I'm like, that's not true. Since when? Because and they say that because they don't want them, you know, leaving to go somewhere else and forming their own group, but they'll keep them around to just to be walking punching bags.
And masochist.
Very much so. Very much so.
And like I've seen so many videos, and it just gets to the point where it just get exhausting after a while. And it's like these videos have thousands upon thousands of comments. I even have posted one in my Discord where there was it was a whole panel, I guess like a black woman's panel, and it was like one dark skinned woman. They were talking about colorism, and the like three women, all MLS. She was just talking about like dark skin issues and colorism and all that, and they were just sitting there like they had nothing to say. Like they were just putting on their case. Where I'm just as black as you, and I'm like, lady, just stop it. And the comments, they were just getting just railroaded in the comments, talking about, see, light skinned women always think they can just come to black women's spaces. And it's like, well, you guys are forcing them to be in black women's spaces. Like, don't complain about something that you're helping to create. Like, they talk about light skinned women, but turn around and claim light skinned women and light skinned people when they do something that makes the black community look good. It's like,
Oh yeah. Oh
it's
yeah.
just,
Like I said, you know, on the last stream that we did, I said, you know, they have this this thing with them that believes that, you know, again, our success is their success, but they only wanted to rewrite, like they want to rewrite history.
Exactly.
Well, I like this comment that Strawberry Princess put up. Reminds me of an abusive relationship when whites are racist to us. There's outrage on our behalf, but when there's reverse colorism, we're just expect to take it. Oh, absolutely.
Well, from what I've seen, they're basically saying that reverse colorism is basically if white people complain about racism. It's, oh, well, actually, white people can't experience racism and light skinned black people can't experience colorism. It's just bullying. it's just, it's just if you just took it, it's just sad when you just think about how many like MLS people just keep falling for this garbage, generation after generation after generation. And it's like no matter what people are saying, it just all just seems to keep. That's just the absolute fact that nobody wants to challenge, and quite frankly, are afraid to.
To ruffle any feathers. Because like I said in the chat earlier, we really don't have nothing to prove to anybody or anything anymore. Because like I said, it's low level content, yeah, low level content and disrespect. And this isn't going to go away anytime soon. You still gonna have forms of it in so many different ways.
But we can expect that from. But the problem is, and even I was looking at a comment section by another problematic YouTuber. I'll just say that was basically saying that there's no such thing as light skinned saviors. I'm like, yes, there is. Like the whole,
Okay, apparently they haven't experienced life long enough, or apparently they haven't been around long enough to see what's really going on, or let alone paid attention to any form of detail of, you know, again, people who look like us, you know, again, doing all this coddling and pandering towards a community of people who don't necessarily have their best interests. Like it's good enough if you pander, but the moment that they become dissatisfied with you, they will throw you under the bus with the quickness.
and that light skinned savior term, we coined that like all the way back in the A9 and LSM days. There's light skinned saviors is basically light skinned people that just go above and beyond to cape for dark skinned blacks. Like, I get it. I've been, well, I, I was never as bad as some of these people, but we've all had our moments of pro blackness. But I was never pro black to the point where I would throw myself under the bus just to make other people feel good about themselves. Like some of the things that these people say is just so cringy. It's like embarrassing.
Yeah, at this point it is.
And I don't know if you saw in my Discord, but I had posted a video where there was like a light skin and dark skin video, and it was a MLS man and a white dude in it. And the MLS man was basically he had clicked like dark skin and was just lifting weights. And the next thing I know, on the light skin part, mind you, he's light skinned himself, and this dude was practically humped being the white dude. I'm like, what? It's like I can talk about the black community all day, but what am I supposed to say about MLS men themselves that are emasculating us as a whole? Like,
But
what
and,
do
you
you
know,
think?
and that's the thing. You know, they're not part of the solution; they're part of the problem
Like, how
because
do?
because unfortunately they have because again they believe those stereotypes. You know, even for themselves, are tending to be true when we know again, which is why we have these, you know, get this space like this and the people that's in the chat, you know, shout outs to you all. Um, when we try to combat that, um, all of a sudden we're seen as different in our approach and different in our state of mind, or because it's like, oh well, it's like, oh, how dare you try to fight? How dare you try to fight back and uh, defend against that? I'm like, well, first of all, again, these types of folks that are, you know, that is, you know, in the background cheering and clapping. I'm like, yeah, you know, well, they want to cheer anytime somebody says something about, you know, racist white folk, or won't necessarily do that, but it, other people can do it, but other people can do it, but we can't.
Exactly.
Or even ourselves.
It's just gotten to, you just sunken down into a low place when you have to throw yourself under the and make a joke about yourself, and everyone's just like, ha ha ha. But it's like nobody else is doing this. Nobody. And it's like a famous quote: if you don't respect yourself, how do you expect other people to respect you?
Yeah, and that, uh, and the thing is that, you know, like they say, perception is reality.
Kira Gauthier Jones, how's it going?
I
And
can't say lighter skin tone. I think of myself more of a bright copper, like a new shiny, like a shiny new penny, definitely reddish in hue.
I see, that's what I be saying. It's like nowadays people just don't even know what light skin is itself anymore. Like people nowadays, it seems like you practically have to be pale as a white person to be considered light skin. If you even have like a little, like tiny tint of brown, people say, "Well, you're light brown." I like light. Okay, what's light brown? You're There's three categories: light brown, dark. Like, what's this light brown stuff?
That's just, you know what? That's just them. That's just them trying to grab someone of that particular complexion, trying to move them into the darker hue category as a way of in a way of trying to shut that down, like a know your place kind of thing. And somebody talked about this before, and I don't know if it'll be all right if I say her name, but hell, even Exoticals United talked about this before,
Yeah, I remember that.
and it's just another form of gaslighting and projection all over again, just so again that particular side can somewhat like try to steer you clear from the lighter category in comparisons to, you know what. And it's like, okay, if you're sort of a tone of a brown paper bag, but you're not necessarily darker in hue. Like again, there's a term right now called the safe brown. I'm like, the fuck?
Hey, bro.
Safe? I'm like, safe motherfucking brown. Unbelievable.
I,
I'm like, because I know every time I'm gonna tell you like this, every time I pick up a penny, all I know is I'm lighter than that damn penny. My shade ain't turning colors over a 24, 40, 36, 48, 72 hour period of time. The caramels and coppers are light skinned, in my opinion. Okay.
I've seen there's like so many people who be like, well, you're not actually light skinned. And it's like, so who who appointed you as the black color council of the the black color council, the BCC. That's what we gotta call it now. Oh, you're not actually. We have to look in the black color dictionary about what your color is. So let's look in the BCD and we'll find that you are in category 1.85. Yeah, you're not actually light skinned. So you go over there. It's like,
But here's the thing though. But again, your thumbnail is a prime example of it. I mean, of course, there's Boris Kojo and his family, and Steph Curry and his family.
yeah, that's why I chose it.
Yeah, a prime example. And people from the outside looking in will be so quick to say, "Oh well, the Currys would probably be more of the what automatically would be classified in the damn near white category in comparisons to Boris Kojo and his wife, despite them both being MLS people." And the particular people that try to have these new terms and new words so they could become part of the conversation. And so basically they're believing, so again, these people that are doing this, they believe in a racist caste system. They do.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, I've seen a couple extreme cases of people that are practically darker skinned themselves claiming to be light skinned, and it's like, oh, okay, you guys got them with that. But if you got people like Will Smith and Boris Kojo that are super light in some instances, then okay, do you not know what brown, the color brown looks like? That's why I say we gotta call the Black Color Council. These people are probably, I guess maybe that's what we just have to call them. Maybe they're the secretary of the Black Color Council, and there's a lot of people that had to be kicked out of the light skin category because they didn't make the cut.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, Robert Sharkey. We're all should be called colored, albino, light skin, vanilla, caramel, and dark skin. We love our light complexion, vanilla, and lemon skin here. That we do. Because again, hell, like I said before, it's like I look at myself, I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't see a baby. I don't see a little baby. I don't see a 21 Savage. I don't see hell, I don't even see Michael B. Jordan. No disrespect to those guys, but that's not me when I look at myself in the mirror.
Facts.
And if they don't, and again, if others don't like it, well, tough. I don't like the term brown skin because brown is the same color as yeah, exactly. And like I said before, that's just a way of trying to derail the conversation.
I I just think that brown skin term is just so vague nowadays. It's like people don't even know what it is. Like even if you look at like celebrities that I think brown skin exoticals, if y'all have watched her before, I think she explains it better than anybody. Like you got people like Yara Shahidi, and Yara Shahidi is darker than me, and she's mixed. So it's like people just want to say, well, she's not actually light skinned, but it's like she's mixed and she's darker than me. So what category does she fall under? And it's like she was kind of in the whole situation where she played like in a movie with like an Asian man. I think I talked about this like years ago with A9 and LSM, where she got into a little heated situation where people were complaining that she shouldn't have played that role, but these were the same people that say that she's actually brown skinned, but were mad that she was playing a character that had brown skin in the novel she played.
Wow. I don't even know what to say. I really don't.
So it's
Because
like,
as long so it's like so as long as you know again it's like so it's like so at this point it's like so what do we do like again even for these people that still try to want to gaslight project and derail the conversation in a way to try to shame those particular people who may not be as complected as the brown
okay,
people.
hold on, wait, wait,
Brown
wait.
people.
Let me. No, no, we're not doing this. Like, no problematic comments.
Right.
We already got enough issues going on. We don't need. Okay, what were you saying?
I was saying so it's like so at this point as long as these again it's like so when it's like again like in a way like for these people that want to derail the conversation when you come when we talk about categories or when they want to talk about categories of who's going to be in steer like who's going to be in the lighter category versus steering them closer to the blacker darker category, like they're really trying to like reach for a handful of people, and 9 times out of 10 it really becomes an epic fail for some of them. Because I'm like, here's the thing, you'll have people that could be uh, the same complexion as a notorious Big and trying to call somebody that's about Michael B. Jordan's complexion, light skin. I'm like, not exactly. And no disrespect to him, but that's just
No.
yeah. So that's just like I said, again, that's just them trying to to try to move the needle in a direction where it should have never really been moved.
Exactly. So, does anybody else want to hop on the panel and discuss this today? No String says stop acting light skinned. Bring out the
Oh
perfume.
yeah, yeah. Matter of fact, hey, lick your fingers and move it to your mustache and to your eyebrows.
You know what's crazy about that? I was watching one of the Super Bowl with Prince in it, and Prince was practically like pushing like almost 60, like 70 years old, and was still performing in a way that you would never even like outperforming like a lot of people that are in their 20s now. Like these
Oh yeah,
are legends.
yeah. And what's funny and it's like and even with Prince, it's like when you know that he was ready to set to perform, he was gonna give you something that you was gonna remember. Him, Morris Day in the time.
The monoracial community is rapidly diversifying. 38% of children born. Whoa.
Born to a black parent were multi-ethnic back in 2018, and that percentage is going parabolic year over year.
It might be 50% at this rate. And one thing a lot of people don't even consider, like how many of these people actually have babies by people that are actually would be considered MGM nowadays or biracial?
Hey, they're being produced somehow. It's like they're being produced somehow. Um, it's like who's having these babies? Who's having
Light
these
skin.
MLS? Yeah, these light skinned babies or MLS babies. Light skinned black people are. Yeah, a future. I was getting ready to say the same thing. It's very rare. Definitely these days. Now, to go back to again the point to the title of what are light skinned blacks. Well, um, to me, my thing is also where they may not have they're lighter in phenotype, but they necessarily don't have white ancestry or let alone white relatives, but they did come out, again with a lighter in phenotype, and I don't really necessarily know if it came in the sense of two dark skinned parents. I mean, yeah, it does happen, and it's very seldom, but it's definitely pretty rare.
Yeah, and you're
And
talking
they're
about
not and they're not always recognizable. And so that really leaves you wondering. It's like, well, damn, those must be some type of genes.
well, I grew up in a predominantly black community, and even like in my immediate family, it's here's the strange thing. I have a cousin, and my cousin, like cousin's daughter, like he has like a one brown skin son
Yeah.
and like one really light skinned daughter. And my grandmother is basically what you would consider like white passing. So the genes is like very weird. It can go all the way back to like your great grandparents. And I've been looking into my DNA a lot lately, and it's been having like a lot of Scotland ancestry coming back.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, pretty much mostly I still have to take the test, but my mom pretty much has a lot of different African tribes. And as far as like white ancestry, it pretty much all hails from Scotland, Scotch country.
Yeah.
And I had got off from work today, and I literally there was a black woman that was talking about today. I literally had a conversation with her. She was talking about, oh, yeah, we're all mixed up nowadays. She said she a Mexican, black, white, all types of stuff. It's like a lot of people don't realize that before our very eyes, people are finally starting to look within their own DNA. And that's why spaces like these, regardless of how people want to frame them, are growing because people are looking into their DNA and their ancestry, finding out that it's not just black. I know people don't want to admit that, but it's the truth.
Yeah.
There's
Hell, even same with me. Again, even I always knew that, again, like my influences were like very much pretty vast. And despite me, again, whether, yeah, me being an MGM Creole with hazel eyes, I came out, and again, I came out the way that I've came out. The thing is that and even sometimes when people do these DNA ancestry, and I'm not saying that all of them do this, but you do have those that people do try to take their tests, and 9 times out of 10, tests can be sort of flawed.
Yeah, true.
And which is why, and it's like, well, and I know I get asked, well, have you thought about doing one? I'm like, well, technically, I don't have to.
Yeah, a lot of people know already like what their admixture is and all that.
Yeah, yeah.
And the big thing, there's been a lot of people in this that have been kind of hopping on my case, like, well, you're not mixed or light skinned. And I'm like, oh, well, I guess your word means more than the hundreds of black people in my immediate circle that I've dealt with my entire life that have told me what I am and what my skin tone is. But you, random uh, avatar face with a no hair, yeah, your opinion matters. Okay, that makes sense.
But even for some, right? And again, it's all, again, also going back to the region aspect of it. If you happen to be, again, the lightest of all people that you come across on a regular basis, 9 times out of 10, yeah, you will be seen, um, not necessarily as, as people from that particular community as such, but you will be considered the lightest of them all.
And don't even get me started on the South.
Yeah, exactly. They definitely, because yeah, like, and that's the South had a huge mix, was a mix, and probably still till this day, but unfortunately, because it's like still so much traumatic experiences that has taken place in the South, where they look at race, where they look at race differently or view race differently in comparisons to being up north or even in the East or the West Coast.
You talk like a white boy.
Well, that's because my father is half white. Yeah, that's a common one. That's a common one.
And what is talking white? I'm still confused what that means nowadays.
Oh, meaning that you don't talk with a lot of street slang. You don't use a lot of words that's in the urban dictionary. Your vocabulary can be well expanded. Comparisons to people that you uh, may run into, whoever. Now, again, don't get me wrong. Now, I'm not saying that I myself, I'm not going to have a conversation with people and just use certain big words on an everyday, regular basis. Not saying that I don't know it, but because it's like, okay, because it's like, okay, you sound like a white, you're not necessarily as ghetto as if they don't have such things like white people that are ghetto themselves.
Exactly. So I'm looking at what the Future is Golden said about Erica Badu's daughter, and they call themselves light skinned because they don't know white ancestors or don't have any. Well, if you look at Erica Badu's daughter, you can clearly, obviously tell that there's some admixture in there. And that's where the term like light skinned black is just gets a little confusing when you really think about it. Because it's like, what really makes a light skinned black person? And I think when I posted my thumbnail, that's what I kind of think of when I think of a light skinned black person. It's pretty much a black person with a lighter skin tone with more or less like ethnic features, if that makes any sense.
Right.
I mean, that's what I think of with a light skinned black person, but anybody's free to correct me on it.
Because because even when I was looking at the thumbnail, I was like, okay, well, there is a broad. Yeah, they definitely have broader features. Big nose, sort of big lips. Of course, that would be. I don't want to again. I don't want to sound like I'm picking on folks because I'm not. I'm just making the point or an argument that that would be features that people in the BC would have. Broader cheekbones, wide, maybe a maybe a big nose or a wide bridge nose, and sometimes big lips or even full lips to an extent.
Yeah,
And and again, I was looking at them, I was like, okay, are they a couple or are they related?
I was confused when I first saw it too. I don't even know. I, I guess you could say I got a lot of I guess deprogramming to do myself, I guess, for assuming that.
But because that's the thing too, because every time people will see a MLS man or MLS woman in the same presence, and they don't even have to know each other, but you'll still have people saying, "Oh, you guys look like brother and sister." And I'm like, "Well, that's the case. Well, the woman that you with looks like your sister, or is your sister, or let alone your mama."
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life.
And to me, and that's where, and again, and they're doing that to try and that's just another way of trying to disparage not only the MLS community, but also the man, so they can have they run rough shine because they believe that, as you talked about this before, if there's a way that they could, somehow get an MLS woman in the terms of, fetishizing them, they'll do anything by any means necessary to make you less qualified.
Yeah, and sometimes the women they do it to a lesser extent too.
Right, right,
Because one thing I have kind of noticed in like these colorism spaces that it seems like a lot of these MLS men seem to take like pleasure, and I guess kind of throwing dark skinned men to the bus. But it's like when I look at it, it's like you guys are complaining about you're doing the very thing that you complain about the women doing. It's like how do you hop on light skinned women's case for accepting a fetish, but you're accepting being fetishized yourself? Like it just makes no sense. You can't knock people for doing something that you're doing yourself.
exactly. It's like you can't necessarily accuse of somebody else's. It's like, yeah, you can't say that they're guilty of doing that, but yet you're doing the same thing. And again, no one is saying that again that you couldn't do it or you shouldn't do it. Well, hell, I wouldn't be doing it at all. But the way it's just the way that it's done, though. The way that it's done. When you hear all these things that's being said to make somebody uh, to demonize them, to scrutinize them because of how they look or how they may come across.
Okay, I'm going to go on mute for a second. I'll be right back.
All right, I guess I'll just oh shit. Okay, sorry about that. I hit the wrong button. Okay, this comment's from Nate Turner. Black is not a race, it's a color. Color is not a race, or it's not a race, nationality, and tribe is.
Okay, I'm back.
No, okay, I was just reading the comment.
Yeah, it's not a race, but I think
Yeah, and we know that. We know that.
but there's a lot of people that try to say, um, and I thought about this myself. It's like there's a lot of people that have an issue with people saying that they're golden, but it's like you guys have no problem with saying you're black. I mean, look at anybody ever just looked up the term what black means? It's like it was just a term that was given to us by slave masters in slavery. It's like nobody has a problem being associated with any of that for saying they're black. But then it's like people have a problem with saying they're golden. I mean, look at what golden means. Like black isn't even a race.
You took the words right out of my mouth.
It's it's like you we could spend all day just going over like how hypocritical a lot of people have been in these spaces.
Yeah, we can.
Yeah, Golden and like LSP and Caesar were the ones that came up with that. Shout outs to them. I don't know if LSP is still here.
And shout outs to the big bro, Caesar Cannon.
Yeah, he's had to deal with a lot of nonsense that really he really shouldn't even be having to deal with on like some people's behalf. And it's dealt with this space is just dealt with a lot of negativity. And you people, you know who you are. Like I don't have to say your names. I don't want to give you guys any more attention that you don't deserve. You know who you are, and you know what you've done. And don't think anybody in this space has forgotten what y'all been saying. But karma's going to catch up with y'all sooner or later.
And some of these people definitely deserve to have their ass whooped or told on with the stuff that they've been pulling ever since the space, existed.
Well, the term black wasn't popularized until the 90s, and the light skinned so called blacks don't come from white people at all. So, like the light skinned Negroes in the bottom. Well, you know what? It's really started when the I'm black, y'all. I'm black, y'all. I'm blackity black, 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 y'all. I'm blackity black, 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 black. I man, if I knew my computer can handle it, I would play that scene right now. If I
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know what you mean, though.
let's be karma now. Oh, oh, don't worry. They're going to get what they got coming to them sooner or later. People were saying black in the 60s. I think it really started. I think the first take win probably in the civil rights movement. We're under a lot of. And I was thinking about that song while typing that. I'm telling y'all, oh my goodness, if I knew my computer could handle playing that video, I would play it. I want to play it so bad.
I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm blackity, blackity, black, black, y'all. And then do the little dab dance that Cam Newton does while that's playing.
And you know it's
But yeah,
crazy.
because that movie is CB4. Oh, that is still a classic to me. Because they had Alan Payne. It's like, okay, him being an MLS man himself, being the most representative of, of black people, being the most pro-blackest of people.
You know what? When you brought that up, it really made me. And this is a little like secret like project that I've been working on. But there's a lot of MLS men in the American media that I feel like haven't had as big a careers as they should. Like I'm thinking like along the likes. If you think of like the Boris Kojos, the Alan Paynes, the Michael Eli's, like the list goes on and on and on. And it's like they're not on the par of like a Jonathan Majors or a Morris Chestnut. And it's like
Right.
I don't think a lot of people even realize like how deep the erasure of MLS men in the media goes. But that's probably going to I might I'm probably going to go on probably like a long leave because that's going to be a huge project that I'm going to be editing. I think I need to go like real in depth with like how deep the erasure of MLS men is. It's like it's been going on for generations upon generations. And the crazy thing is, a lot of people would never even know if you talk to them about it.
Right. Right.
People of the Bible, King David was a light-skinned Black American man. Man looked a lot like Steph Curry and Malcolm X. You know what? The way things are nowadays, I wouldn't put nothing past what people have been lying about in history. For all we know, everything we've been taught, probably even in regards to the chosen people, is probably a lie.
Well, that's the thing too, especially about America. Ever since it became to be America, people have people did fabricated, distorted, uh, rewritten stuff. We don't even know. Hell, it's like we hardly even know what's real and what's not real anymore, unless if you do research of your own.
Well, I think in terms of like research for us is just so like vague. It's like one day I was just looking and it's like you just can't even really find like any historical documents of MLS men. It's like the only thing you can really find is yeah, they were in the house and they were privileged and they were privileged over dark skinned slaves and like oh, da, 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 da. It's like oh has anybody ever like documented what actually happened with the house slaves?
And again, and I haven't even read the Book of Enoch.
Yeah, I've seen it. I
Yeah,
used to have it,
I know
but
about it, but I haven't read. And King David, hey, I may have to research him myself.
It's like when you have, there's nothing more dangerous than people that can manipulate history. People like that are dangerous. And that's why a lot of people talk about, yeah, we know the history and we know what people really run Hollywood. But in a way, doesn't that make it worse that a lot of people are going along with what Hollyweird is promoting simply because it makes them look better?
The slave doctrine is fake. The House of Fear Negro is a fake doctrine. It is not real. It was put out by a fake pro-black.
You know what? It's funny he says that because I forgot. I have been looking for this source for years and I cannot find it. But there was a Yahoo group and they were like get towards like mixed race studies and everything. And they were like a whole group of people that were looking at history books and they said that that whole doctrine was fake and was created by a black man in the 90s. So when he
Wow.
says that, it definitely makes sense. But it's like I said, when there's people that can manipulate history to make push themselves forward, people like
Oh,
that are
yeah, like you said, they're very dangerous. Which is, again, it's like what is it like? What's his name? The Willie, yeah, Willie Lynch, Willie Lynch. They love hitting you with the Willie Lynch syndrome.
and the crazy thing was that same group has said that Willie Lynch never even existed.
Wow. So they just pulling people's names right out of the bat. People that are you're just sitting there like, damn, like, and and we really bought into this.
Would you like to join the panel, Nate Turner? I, I think it would be really interesting to have this discussion a little bit more because I know I had shouted you out before. Even if that house slave, field slave thing actually did happen, let's take a look at it from like a job perspective even nowadays. If you have a boss that you cannot stand, would you rather work away from them or literally right behind them? And a boss that hates your guts? Are you going to want to be around that boss?
In theory, you definitely would sort of be. Well, in theory, you kind of want to be like, you really do want to work away from them. Not saying that you can't necessarily work in the same spot, but like be in their presence 24/7 though. Because it's easy to be like, oh well, I'd rather just quit rather than work under this person who's always going to be up my tail 24/7. Because trust me, even the place where I work, I have to deal with people like that. Hell, I pretty much had to put one in check, about a week ago.
Yeah. So when I hear people say that, it's like nobody wants to work around somebody that's going to be harassing them for everything they do wrong.
Sorry about that, y'all. But yeah, I mean, I can get that. It's like, okay, in a way, it's like it's not like I don't have it. Again, and some, some of these leads or even some of these, higher ups, it's like they come with this, oh, I'm just here to coach. I'm just here to, sort of teach. I'm like, okay, fine, you can teach and you can coach, but telling people what to do though in a disrespectful tone, I'm, you know,
Okay,
I'm
what's
not
up,
gonna go
Big
along.
Bernie?
Can you brothers hear me?
Oh yeah, we
Loud
can
and
hear
clear,
you.
bro.
Hey, so I'm Nat Turner. That's of course it's not my real name, but what I was saying was like the people of color of America, the Negroes, are the people of the Bible. All right. So like this whole slavery doctrine is not real. Like the vast majority of the stuff that they tell y'all is not real. Like there were dark skinned field Negroes. I mean, light skinned field Negroes as well. It wasn't based off color. It was based off of the rapport that the slave had with that slave owner going back to childhood. It wasn't based off color. Even slavery was not based off race. It was based off of, I think it was debt, if I remember correctly. If you owed something, you had to become a slave, and you had a lot of so-called black men who were slave owners. All right, if you go through, I seen a list earlier of slave owners, and then you'll notice like they have so-called Black American last names, like Washington and things like that. Those are Black American last names because a lot of the slave owners were black men. A lot of the Caucasians here are not. They're not. They didn't even have enough money or to even own slaves, let alone a black slave. So the whole slavery doctrine is not real, like at all.
You know
All
what?
right.
I do remember reading up on that one time. Like
Yeah.
even like in America's like first like founding times, there was a lot of like indentured like white servants that had to pay back debts, and there
Yeah.
was a lot of black men like in like the founding days of America that were free when they worked out their
Yeah.
debt.
Yeah. Because it wasn't that whole doctrine is not real. And then they're not going to tell y'all that light skinned black people were of America. Well, we didn't even come from Africa. We came from Europe. If you look up your last name, you'll notice the Black Americans. We all have Welsh last names. The vast majority of us. Look up your last name, your surname, and it goes back to it goes back to Europe because our people ruled Europe for thousands of years. But they're going to lie and say that you came from Africa. The vast majority of people did not come from Africa. We came from Europe. For example, my last name is Scottish. Um, you look up the orders of fried chicken, it comes from Scotland. There's a reason why people of color, stereotypically, we like fried chicken so much because we're the ones who originated it when we were in Europe. But they won't tell you all that because that's not a part of what they want to push, the narrative they want to push. So they'll make up lies, say light skinned Negroes come from white people and things like that. When you read the Bible, it talks about speckled birds, and speckled birds pretty much are uh, used for mixed race people, and it's also used for light skinned Negroes, like who just came out like me, like I have. Even though my parents are darker than me, they're like a little bit more tan. They're like a Ti or something like that. Ti, the rapper complexion. But
Yeah,
I came
yeah.
out. I came out like they probably a tad bit darker, but I came out like his daughter Deja Harris. So
Okay.
that's what you call like a speckled bird. So that's where in the Bible it speaks about something like that. Like you can have children if you're brown skinned, you can have children who are dark brown, or you can have children that come out lighter if you're brown skinned, and it just keeps getting lighter like that. It's not. It doesn't just come from so-called white people. So it's a lot of stuff that we don't know that they're hiding from us. That's going to be revealed in these last days that a lot of our people don't know. It's not really a myth for a lot of our people to even see it because this is all a show. I mean, one big play that the Most High is putting on. So it's just a lot of stuff that I can tell you guys about. I'm not an expert or nothing, but it's just a lot of stuff that's just I'm watching this stuff unfold on social media, and it's crazy how many people don't know this stuff. And you're right about the colorism aspect of things and the erasure of things. We don't just get our history taken by so-called dark-skinned black men, the brothers, dark-skinned, but also by Caucasian men as well. Like you would never know that King David was a light-skinned black man because they will always portray him as a white man. Or if they do portray him as a black man, he's going to be a dark-skinned black man.
Yeah,
So
and that's the problem right there.
yeah,
And it's like I said in the stream, like people that can manipulate history to make themselves look superior are dangerous people.
yeah, yeah. It's a lot of stuff, man.
And that's happened that's been going on for centuries. If it still isn't going on now, you know, because they know that there's a beneficiary purpose to it. You
Yeah,
know, those particular people, they know that they're going to benefit. But I do like, again, like the point that you made about the last names and such. Hell, even me, like my last name is comes from like three different European countries, from Scotland, Ireland,
yeah,
and even the UK.
yeah, yeah. That's because our people we were settled there. We grew up there. If you look up the terms black and tawny, it wasn't called light skin and dark skin. It was called tawny. The light skinned Negroes were considered tawny, and the dark skinned Negroes were considered black. Or if you seen a dark skinned woman, they would call her brunette. See, the Caucasian changed a lot of these words around the meaning of them. When you call somebody brunette back in the ancient, I mean, years ago, you were talking about their skin color being dark brown, not their hair.
Oh,
But they changed the meaning of things and all type of stuff. So you can like, I seen a certain piece where light skinned Negroes they ruled Europe. I read about the red Douglases and the black Douglases. The black Douglases was the dark skinned portion of the family. The red Douglases was the light skinned portion of the family. The term Douglas means black man or dark brown man. You had different the dark skinned Negro side ruled one side of Scotland, I believe, and the other one ruled the light skinned Negroes ruled the other side. You know, yeah, it's all type of stuff, man. I seen
yeah, and that's what, and then again, and that's very interesting to me, because that's something that like I never really knew all this stuff, that's what they did, or what was considered this, and the terms that they use, and into thinking that we're talking
yeah,
about this and really it means something else. But then and then having conversations like this and going into the colorism aspect,
yeah. They
which
they
which we know,
whitewash a lot. Yeah,
yeah,
they
which we know
they
that
dark.
there are certain things that it stems from, but at the same time, again, when other people just try to bleed on others just
Yeah,
for the sake of bleeding,
yeah. But
that to me,
it speaks about that in the scriptures. It speaks about you know most of our people are not going to make it because there is going to be wars that break out, like nuclear wars that they're talking about now. It's going to be wars and all type of stuff up evil like it is now. You're seeing the society spiral out of control and out down the drain. That's what's happening right now. And what's happening is the Most High has His chosen elect of the American Negroes or the people of color of America that He's going to, give grace to and try to save out of this. If you read the Bible, it talks about the 144,000 elect. It's talking amongst the people of color of America. And the rest of the people who don't understand this stuff or he didn't give the insight to or he's just not dealing with, they're probably going to more than likely be destroyed by, those nuclear bombs because it's prophesied in the Bible. Like it speaks about light-skinned black people being discriminated against in the last days. It literally speaks, and that's what we're going through right now. It
yeah,
speaks about the speckled birds being, harassed and stuff like that, like we are now. It speaks about, you can just tell that it's speaking about the Black Americans. Like, he'll make one group of people stronger and faster than the others. Who else could you be talking about? Look at the American Negro. We dominate basketball, football, all this stuff. We're the most talented group of people on the planet. If you look on TikTok or wherever, they worship people of color of America. They look at us as gods because that's what we are the closest thing. The men of color of America, we are the closest things to him. So that's a lot of stuff that our people don't know. Um, yeah, but this whole colorism thing is definitely a real thing. It's it's kind of touched on in the Bible as well. It's a part of prophecy.
Wow, I'm just sitting here listening, and it's when you think about it, it definitely makes a lot of sense if you just take a step back and just think about a lot of things that's been going on nowadays
Yeah,
and what's going on before our eyes in the American media, social media,
yeah.
and it all has to be happening for a reason.
You see, did you hear that story about the UFOs being shot down?
Yeah, I heard about that.
Well, it's literally impossible to shoot out down a UFO. The Most High's UFO. Those are actually what the Bible calls I can't pronounce it, chariots, and those are what the angels in are. The angels, and it's literally really impossible to shoot those down. You can't shoot down one of the Most High's chariots. But that's what they're talking about. They're saying it's aliens. It's really just black men. All right, and not only that, like when you hear these sisters or people of different races talking about black men are more masculine and things like that, it's really just energies that the so-called black man creates with his brain. All right, like he creates this spiritual energy where he's able to gravitate people to him, women and all type. As you notice, everybody they mimic the so-called black man, the way he dresses, the way he raps and all that. It's just energy that they create. The people of color, the men of color of America, but especially the dark-skinned black man. He just creates this energy that people try to siphon off of. It's just energy that the black man, spiritual energy that he has. That's why everybody want to be black and all that. It's really just they just trying to siphon off that spiritual energy that he creates.
And you know what, and that's the thing too, like, because now that you touched on that, the spiritual energy, because I know for me, right, that when I know that something is off,
Yeah,
and when you know that something is off, and it's like, okay, you really want to, you really want to just tell it, okay, something's not right. I don't know what it is. It's not whether you don't like it, or this could lead up to something that's not going to be good, or this is just your inner spirit, your inner self saying, but it's like that gut feeling.
yeah,
And like there was a quote that I read saying, you can be hate. It's like main reason why people don't like you or hate you, because really your spiritual realm destroys their demons.
yeah,
So some of these people, they have this thing where maybe they're still operating on demon time.
yeah,
So I'm like, is that why demon time is is existing in some?
yeah. Because what you gotta understand is that the black woman as well. If you look at the so-called black woman, everybody mimics her, the way she dressed, the subject. If you notice, the black woman, especially the dark-skinned black woman, she can say, "I don't like light-skinned dudes." If women of all races will sit there and repeat it, it's because she has the most spiritual energy. She's able to influence and have all this power like that. So that's why I'm saying it's a lot deeper than what the average person may realize. What it really is with this whole light skinned black man discrimination and stuff is you hear a lot of so-called black men, they talk about how black women don't desire them. All right. Especially dark skinned black men. Unless they are street thugs or rappers. And that is a real thing. That is a very real thing. They don't really have a physical attraction to them unless they're portraying that demonic energy. So what happened is the reason why a lot of so-called black women treat light-skinned dudes like that is because a lot of them really just like y'all, but they don't know how to tell y'all that because y'all so handsome. Like we're so handsome, they might be intimidated by us. You know how you in school, the girls like you, they treat you poorly. They tease with you, they talk about you, and it's kind of like, if I can't have them, y'all can't have them. It's like that mentality. So what they're really doing now is that she knows she has the most spiritual energy, so she can get light-skinned black women to say, that I don't like light-skinned dudes, and women of other races to say it. So it's like, if I can't have them, y'all can't have them, and they know that they don't have any option because if you look at a lot of light-skinned people, they date white women and stuff. They don't even date dark-skinned sisters like that, and they know that. They know that. So they use a spiritual energy to get people from other races. That's why they all gang up on y'all, because the women really just desire y'all physically. And they might like the dark skinned black man's like his swag and his energy better, but physically, y'all what these women prefer. But it's kind of like if I can't,
they can't. Yeah, they can't have. Yeah, it's like, well, if I can't have you, I'll make sure that nobody else can either.
absolutely,
And that
and
power, like the saying goes, power in the wrong hands can be very deadly. And I believe,
yeah,
over time, what's going on with MLS people till this day, that's where, unfortunately, that power used for evil or for not for bad, that's where it's taken us. And so
yeah,
now we're conversating about it, and we're
yeah,
trying to figure out, it's like, well, really, did it really get to that point to where, again, really like MLS? So it's like,
yeah, and
it's like going out into the forefront, saying something to people out on the outside, but when you go behind the scenes, it's what they're saying something different.
yeah,
And you know what's crazy? I was just thinking about that. Like, I don't know if it was yesterday, like last week, because I was just looking at videos and it was like all types of like different races of women talking about, oh, I don't do light skins. And it's like, how do these races of women even know what light skin is? And then it clicked. Oh,
they're,
they're
they're
around
over.
black women.
Yeah, you gotta watch the daughters of so-called black, particularly so-called black women, because they're so influential due to the energy that they have. And black men. That's why they, what it really is, they're trying to, the dark skinned black woman, the black woman, period, even the light skinned black woman, she has an attraction towards light skinned dudes as well, but she has to stay on their code. They're just trying to destroy your global desirability. And they're trying to make y'all as desperate as the dark skinned black man. And
Wow.
they're taking
I
advantage of
never
the
looked
simple
at it
minded.
like that.
They're taking advantage of the simple minded so called dark skinned black man. That's why you notice they don't even date black men who are really rich. Black women don't. They would not do it. But the women of other races will. That's because, like, due to the energy that we have and things like that. But they will, like, they yeah, they're just trying to destroy your global desirability and make it seem like y'all just so frail and so weak and just how can the so-called light-skinned black man be extremely weak like they said he is, but he dominates every sport.
Exactly.
Look
Or
at boxing.
if not that, or pretty much dominate. If not that, pretty much dominate. The entertainment industry. I mean, who's the face of hip hop right now? Drake.
Yeah.
Yes,
Look
sir.
at look at basketball. Look at boxing. You got Javante Davis. That's
Yeah.
we had the most we're the most dominant, and
Muhammad
we're not.
Ali.
Yeah, we're keep this in mind, brothers. We are literally we're not a huge population of people. Black American light skinned dudes, whether we mix or whether we just regular light skinned brothers, if you pay attention, um, we get no promotion like at all. We don't even promote our own image, but we're literally the most popular out of everybody on the planet Earth, just based on how we look. Like, think about how much promotion men of other races get. Even dark skinned black men get over us. Think about sports. They've been dominating sport. If you go to the NBA, it's just now starting to light up.
Yeah.
Go back to football. It was all dark. Yeah, no, I'm not trying to be nasty, but if you look at the porn industries, they use the darkest man in the world. But we're still more popular than they are. Even with white men, we're more popular than they are. And that's just based off physical beauty, physical, that a lot of women might like. And we don't promote ourselves at all.
Which makes you wonder just how much we could earn if we finally do start promoting ourselves as we should.
Yeah, and it's a lot of things that I know, man. Outside of this, like I know the nature of the woman because the Bible speaks about it. You know, I'm pretty sure y'all know, like women just like chaos. They just like drama and chaos, and they just want to be, they just want to have fun, and they have fun through mischief and chaos. That's why you notice their preferences are centered around drama and chaos. That's why they choose a thug because the thug is, he has that chaotic energy around him, like the rapper. All these females love rapper. That's all they talk about because a rapper is an agent of chaos, just like she is. So it's a lot of
Yeah,
it's a lot.
you know what? You know what? That definitely makes a whole lot of sense. Yeah, it really does.
Yeah, it's always about chaos. They don't like, it's a
Yeah,
lot of reasons why like they don't like the R&B dude looking dude because if they get with that dude too early and they blow that relationship, they have to live with that for the rest of their life. They're not really ready to do that. And then like for example, they don't want to get in the car with a goody two shoes. Like if you don't have no dirt on you and you just this perfect guy, how they gonna blame you for the relationship? Women don't like accountability. How they gonna blame you for the relationship if it failed? Everybody knows it's her fault. If Sierra breaks up with Russell Wilson from a two-dimensional aspect, everybody knows it's gonna be her fault more than likely. Like, and she has to live with that. And she ruined that relationship. And then so they avoid those men until they have no other option. But if they have the option, they'll go choose the street dude and go have fun and get that thrill that they need. It's all about thrills with the woman. They're all about thrills. The woman is they like. I was gonna use another word, but I don't know if I can't cuss on here or anything. But I know if I can't. But like they like to have intercourse through thrills. It's all about excitement. They don't like to be bored. That's all it's really about. It's about being bored. You hear this shit all the time about he's boring or they just don't like being bored. They just need that thrill. They need that rush. That's all it really is. That's why they
Um,
choose that they choose that that bad boy look or that bad boy. It's just all about the thrill. Who's gonna break the rules and entertain me through? Who's gonna throw away their life and entertain me?
well, I think in terms of it's probably more the women that's not operating in their energy.
Yeah. It depends on who how they raised, of course. But a lot of so-called black women they like that. They're like that, especially the ones I was raised around. There, it's really every woman's not the same, but they all drawn to chaos. It's just in their nature.
Well,
But
it's the community they're in mostly. That's what's promoted. It's when you get them out of that community where they can operate with traditional roles and traditional
yeah, I
family
grew.
households. It's really only like the ones that come from the broken households that they really have that problem.
that Brian Bays, yeah. And now I'm not saying now again. Now I wouldn't again. I'd be fool enough to say that again. It's like in a sense like I'm saying that you don't have people who don't grow up in a dysfunctional household who necessarily don't separate themselves from the pack or they try not to repeat the exact same cycle.
Yeah,
The overabundance, for those that haven't grown out of that, still carry on those exact same traits in the sense of, oh, I just want to have fun or I just want to go out and do experiment with no responsibility at all. And you do, it's like I mean, for some, it's like, yeah, it's like they do come. It's like, oh, I want to build with you, but do you really want to build with us? And 9 times out of 10, it'll be no.
yeah.
Because I heard,
I'm
oh, go ahead, man.
No, I was just gonna say, I wanted to put you brothers onto a YouTube channel that I watch. I've been watching the brother for several years, and we got a lot of uh the similar opinions, but he goes way more in depth with things. I don't know if y'all heard of him, but his name is Chronicles of Judah 144, and he breaks everything down. Like he's just, I mean, the dude's just a genius. Like he's literally God gifted. That's who I watch. I knew a lot of this stuff before, but he really breaks stuff down, and I watch his Patreon and stuff too. That's where I get a lot of my information as well. Even though I was kind of already taught this a little bit, but he goes real deep into like our history stuff. But he doesn't really focus on the color part, this colorism part. But he focuses more on the spiritual aspect of things, what's going on, and all type of stuff like that. Well,
Yeah, I agree with this comment. Fatherless daughters have a heart. or time
Harder
with
time
someone.
with romantic relationships.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Because if you're not really grown up with like a strong like patriarchal, uh, wait, I get it mixed up sometimes, but y'all know that, and it's like you're not going to know like what
What to look
a
for.
man is supposed to be.
Yeah.
So it's like you're going to look for, and a lot of people get their cues from social media and what the media portrays as masculine. And nowadays, the media portrays the rap and hip hop industry as what's considered masculine nowadays.
A
And
lot of
people,
these rappers and these entertainers, man, y'all gotta realize that it's not just about colorism. It's about colorism, but you gotta understand that a lot of so-called black men of a lighter hue, we're not as desperate as darker skinned black men with certain stuff. In order for you to get and everything I'm saying is alleged, for you to get in the door of Hollywood, you got to do all type of stuff. All type of demonic, word, sick stuff to even get your foot in the door to even be in the film. Like you have to,
Right.
so we may not be as desperate. That's why everything's really about being desperate. Like if you look at the type of people that they promote, it's usually before it was just like dudes that they may have a handsome brother here and there, but if you notice, it's usually like a brother that's not really that good looking, or because they're usually they're usually the most desperate. Like they're not used to getting girls. They're not used to like nobody would talk to them basically. And they know desperate people do desperate things to get something that they believe that they want or they carnally may want. And a lot of these celebrities, they do things behind closed doors for fame and stuff that y'all probably don't know nothing about. Or some of y'all, a lot of y'all do. I mean, I'm pretty sure y'all heard a lot about that stuff already, but that is a real thing. So a lot of light skinned brothers probably not as desperate as them for that attention and things like that. And a lot of these people, have you ever heard of the MK Ultra program?
yeah, I've heard of it.
A lot of them celebrities, their favorite athletes are allegedly under everything's alleged is under that program. A lot of these celebrities, their lives are scripted from childbirth. It was already kind of like written in the stars for them to be what they already are. It's all type of stuff. Like everything I'm saying is alleged, but like you've been hearing about these like shootings everywhere. Like the 6-year-old shot the people in the school, and they found a gun and shot themselves, and then all these mass shootings. A lot of these people are just mind controlled, people, and they go out there and they perform these rituals and use them as sacrifices to whatever god that they're worshiping. Like what's a god? I don't know, like Tammuz or something. Like the Bible speaks about Tammuz and Nimrod and just different Babylonian mystery school guys. Because we're living in modern day Babylon right now, and it's falling right now. But yeah, a lot of these people are not who you think they are. I'm just put it like that. Y'all favorite entertainers and stuff, they're not. And that, like, did y'all see the Sam Smith performance with the Grammy or what was
Yeah,
No, I didn't see it.
yeah, I saw it. That was
it? Kind of hiding that stuff. That's what it is.
And Sam Smith is a white dude, right?
Yeah, he's saying yeah. But they're getting tired of hiding.
Because they be playing that song "Unholy," where I live, constantly.
Yeah.
And then you listen to the lyrics, and it's just like, yo. Yeah, it's like, now don't get me wrong. It's like, yeah, I like the beat. Yeah, the beat is all right, but the lyrics though, I'm like,
that's where they get you, the beat.
Yeah, with the lyrics.
Yeah.
It's like you don't know what you're listening to. You're just listening to the beat a lot of times.
Yeah, that is what a lot of these rappers do. But about the MK Ultra stuff, the school shootings and stuff that's going on. Like they said, it's like I forgot what the how many shootings it was, but they had like a map and like it's shootings everywhere. But it's a reason why they're doing it. What they're trying to do, allegedly, is they're trying to take people's guns away from them. And they're trying to round people up here in America, and they want to take your guns away from them, especially your assault, like your automatic guns and stuff. And I believe they're going to try to force martial law on the people and stuff. Because it's really written in this stuff is written in prophecy and stuff. So it's all type of stuff's about to happen.
It does make sense when you think about
They're trying to shame people out of having guns. That's what it is.
the gun control arguments and everything. But nowadays, people, even if they take away guns, all people got to do, they'll just buy chainsaws or swords or bows and arrows. Like people will always.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but that's not. But that's not going to work again. I mean, it's going to work, of course, but it's not going to work with what the government got. You know.
Oh yeah. But I'm saying
They want to force.
It's stupid to just say that it's guns' fault when people can still find ways to kill people even if they get rid of guns. So it's like,
yeah. I mean, hell,
yeah.
and that's the thing too. Now I don't know if anybody who trains martial arts. I mean, yeah, martial arts. I mean, yeah, it's fitness and exercises, but even they teach you techniques on how to kill somebody. So I'm like, so if that's the case, so it's like, hey, are you gonna get rid of martial arts as well for those particular reasons, or are we supposed to?
They don't really care about people killing people. It's just that they want to take the guns away so they can just force, stuff on people. But they know when they do that, the white folks in middle America is going to just cause a civil war with them because they're not giving them guns up without a fight. So it's going to be a flat out war. The white boys, they're not worried about the black man. The black man's the vast majority of us, we're too damn dumb. And then, sorry for cussing, but then the white man on the West Coast, they not, but the guys in the middle of America, they know what's going on. The white dudes do. They speak about the war between white boys. That's like a real thing. I actually did my research on it. Judah even said something about it. But that is a real thing. You got a lot of white people who are like, they tired of this liberal stuff, man. They tired of black people. They losing their power and stuff. And these liberal whites, they keep giving black people all this power, something they feel like they don't deserve. And the other half is like, we got to be more liberal and accept them and stuff. And it's like they going to war with each other already. It's crazy.
It very much so is crazy out here. So, I mean, especially in these modern times that we live in anyway. People are not necessarily, really joining forces at hand, right now based off of survival, or we're still in survival mode, but not as much as we were, back then. Even before and even after slavery, that the family dynamic went away, in a mass sense a long time ago.
Yeah, like it was about maybe like 65 years ago, maybe. I mean, that was very tactful that they did the people of color. Like what they did was just the feminism stuff that really messed us up. And the crack epidemic, that's really what it did. That's just like, that's why all this stuff is going on. There's a lot of the, crack baby. That's what this is with these, with our people. These crazy children. That's what this is an offshoot of. It's those babies, and it's very tactful because they wanted to destroy the family unit of people of color in America, the so-called black people, and they did that on purpose. If you go back in the days, you'll notice that like people of color wasn't even in jail at all back in the day. I think they did a movie back in the day. They used to say like it was number of white people, so-called white people, in jail before all that stuff happened. Like you didn't see no black men in jail at all. But when they planted that stuff in our community, then that's when we lost our businesses. We did all type of stuff.
Yeah. And not only that, again, not only was the government involved, but you also had, police departments in it.
Yeah,
CIA, the FBI. Hell, even I don't know if y'all heard, but hell, even Malcolm X's family is suing all of them, including the government, for millions
yeah.
for the cover up.
I meant to do a video. I got to get more consistent with posting videos, but um, I did a video. I was trying to do a video on Martin Luther King, but I never got to it. But Martin Luther King, not who y'all think he is. Like he was a pawn. He was a plant. Harriet Tubman was a plant. Allegedly, everything's on alleged, just in case. But we are not. Even Rosa Parks was a plant as well. In Malcolm X. So
Rosa Parks?
Yep. Yep. Martin Luther King, especially. I know a lot of stuff about Martin Luther King. They're supposed to release it in 2026. There's a certain law allegedly, but if you know what you're looking for, like he's not what he portrays. He's one of these fake pro-black dudes too. Like Malcolm X. I mean, Martin Luther King used to run around hotels allegedly, and he used to like chase around white women butt naked and try to act like he was Mr. Pro-Black and all type of stuff. You know, if you know, that's why he got the lightest black woman in the world because he settled for her. He was the closest thing to that. That's why he got with her, Henrietta. Like it's a lot of stuff that I don't know. Like he used to participate in all type of stuff. I'm gonna just leave it at that. But
But you know what?
Intercourse and he wanted people to integrate. You notice when we integrated, we lost everything. That's used as like it's like programming for our people. Like they say, you got to be more like MLK to just trying to get us back in line and stuff. That's all type of stuff I can just go on about MLK. That's crazy.
But you know what? It's funny when you say that because I think about like a lot of the pro-blacks now, and it's like they speak about the black community and all this, but then you look and a lot of them have like secret white wives.
Yeah. That's why you can't say these. That's why the scriptures tell you, man, that the world is a stage full of different actors, everybody's an actor, everybody's playing a character. You know, so you can't really take people to.
And I remember listening to a dude a long time ago, and he pretty much, said the same thing, and he was all like, you know what, well, I'm getting ready to. He was going to take the channel in a different direction and start talking about, stuff that's going on in the scriptures, which pretty much resonates to real life, and he did.
Absolutely,
there was going to be a judgment. If the judgment hasn't came down yet, even when you talk, even when it comes to COVID-19. Now, unfortunately, yes, I did have it last year, and let me tell you, it was the most excruciating sickness and pain I've ever felt in my entire life.
Yeah, I had it a couple months ago. Like I didn't know, I ended up moving back in like with somebody for a second, and like he gave it. He's like my uncle's older, and he ended up giving it to me. I went like the whole 3 years without catching it, and then I just mysteriously got it because he works around kids. And it's like, man, I was doing intermittent like fasting, so like my side effects wasn't bad. Like I had like real bad aches and stuff, and runny nose, and my eyelids swelled up a little bit, but I was good for the most part. I was just glad to be at work.
Yeah, me too. Because I ended up catching it, while being at work because the job had sent everybody text messages letting us know that hey, there's been rapid reported positive cases of it, and I started thinking, you know what, that's probably the reason why I got sick.
Well, my job, I don't know, they said that we had like some like law that they couldn't disclose whether it was spreading. But I say like probably like at the beginning of last year, we had like a complete like strain of COVID that just went through the entire like store I was working at.
Yeah, absolutely. I seen a brother in the chat. He said he was trying to control the population. But yeah, absolutely. That's what all these they're trying to push homosexuality. They've been pushing it, homosexuality, and they're really trying to. Well, they're trying to. If you see this society close, they want to push child pedophilia, like child molestation on people. That's why you're seeing all these this stuff going on. It's actually written in the scriptures as well, something like that. They're going to push child, pedophilia on everybody, and it's just, part of the plan.
Yeah, yeah. This is right here, man. This is like hell too much,
Yeah, that's one thing I
Okay.
do not condone whatsoever when they talk like child pedophilia like that. That's one thing
But
that
you're going to see it. Like, you notice that all that they turned our childhood characters gay and all this stuff.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy.
Hell,
Like,
they even made Robin off of Batman gay.
because
Really?
they're pushing that.
Yeah.
They
Wow,
they
I
had
didn't
that
know
first.
that.
They had
I
the
don't know
first
if
like.
it was
Wait,
I don't know if it was Dick Grayson, but I think it may have been the other Robin, Tim Drake.
let's get great. They had like a new like biracial character, and the first he's like the first biracial character, and he was gay. Now he's gay in the cartoon he coming out. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So it's gonna get real crazy very soon. The
Oh
money, I
yeah,
think the money,
absolutely.
the monetary system gonna collapse. You ain't gonna be able to buy or sell nothing. They're gonna have to push the RFID chip on everybody. Eventually, over time, they're gonna force on everybody to fulfill prophecy. It's gonna be a lot of stuff, man.
The boomers are at fault. They created 3 generations of children, X and millennials, and Generation Z.
I've heard.
Basically the older heads.
Yeah.
When they come on and start thinking that they drop the knowledge, but some of these cats as well, they also drop the ball.
Yeah.
Well, I think a lot of them they just grew up in like a different time period, and a lot of them they just come out here and it's like when we're talking about this stuff, it just feels like a different like we're like speaking in a different language because they're not used to stuff like this. They're not used to conversations like this because it wasn't like this when they were growing up. Like they didn't have to deal with what we're dealing with now.
Yeah. Like, and it's really important that we have these conversations that make us uncomfortable. Is how we're supposed to grow. Like the new generation is just based on what the old generation before was. If your generation is bad, it means the generation before us failed. They didn't teach us nothing. They didn't pass down no information, no wisdom, no knowledge, no nothing. So that's what this is all about. We have to break the curse of things the Most High cursed us with. But yeah, man, that back to the color stuff. That stuff is real. Like, you'd be surprised. Like, I come from a very disenfranchised environment. I'm from the hood, the black community. But like, you'd be surprised, man. Like, I know light skinned black boys who's been molested, but they're too scared to say something because they'll get made fun of. They don't want to be called punk and all that stuff. Like, they're too scared to say something. And those shaming tactics it keeps you very very quiet, and you don't want to you're too scared to open up about stuff because you'll get mocked about everything. It's crazy, man.
Yeah.
It's definitely
But anybody that's been through something traumatic like that, of course, again, it's like you saying, again, like, having conversations, making, making people uncomfortable. Sometimes, it does get to the point to where, you're going to have to go see a therapist eventually or speak out so it won't necessarily happen to the next person.
yeah. But what I'm saying is, like, they use those shaming tactics on us so we won't speak about our issues, and they mock us about that because according to them, you would think light skinned brothers and sisters, we don't go through anything in this community.
Yeah.
When they outnumber us by like so much. So you mean to tell me, like, You mean to tell me like y'all not doing anything to these people? Like, you can see it. You can see it online. Like they're not even used to like the light skinned black man or woman pushing back towards them on certain things. And it's not really about a skin color issue. It's really just the elect of the Most High versus everybody. But on a 2-dimensional level, like you can tell that. Like if you look at all the light skinned people in my family, bro, like they're all either crash dummies or they all like. It's just like they just like I don't know. I don't know if the Most High just put a spirit on light skinned Negroes right now or what. But like it's like everybody's either a crash dummy for dark skinned black people. Like like it's weird. It's like everybody just like don't like each other. It's like because dark skinned people told them not to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like light skinned women hate light skinned men just because they got their ego stroked by dark. The street dudes probably more than likely. And then like they told that y'all couldn't mess with each other, and they just like follow along with it. It's like mind boggling.
Absolutely.
It's like what like and like the men are like people are like the men are just they're so afraid to say something because they don't get ganged up by everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like they outnumbered by so much.
I think the issue is, I think even like looking at my immediate circle, it's like if I went to like anybody in like my immediate circle and began talking about what we're talking about like on this space right now, I don't know how they would even like. Some people would probably even react violently, like if we like even like with the little bit of stuff that we talk about like on these spaces. Like we've literally had people that have been trying to call people's jobs over the stuff that we talk about on these spaces.
Yeah, that's this part of all this. I've actually been following you brothers for a while. I've been enjoying what you brothers been posting and things like that. I've been in the back rows watching, but I know a lot of these troll dudes. I watch them. I don't even know who I'm talking about. I'm not gonna say no names, but I see them. I see them trolling y'all, trying to trying to take your channels down and stuff like that.
And not only that, again, they've also been spreading all types of false rumors and narratives and stuff saying we condone this when never in my life have I condoned any of the stuff they talk about, but they just want to push it out there so we don't necessarily grow or pretty much, expand. So it comes down to, the whole, okay, well, these group of people here, we're going to make sure that, they just remain stagnant. And they want us to shut. And I'm like, you're not going to shut me up.
Yeah.
I'm going to talk. So I'm like, hey, if you want to fight about it, okay, well, we'll meet in the middle.
Yeah.
Bring your ass.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I know a lot of people saying abuse. Yeah, man, the light skinned black man experience is definitely difficult. It's real difficult. Like I'm not the prettiest guy in the world, but I'm real like I'm good looking, a little heavy set, but I'm like real like good looking in the face. I've had like white men more jealous of me than dark skinned black men. Like I've actually seen where they'll purposely like blackball light skinned black men out of jobs because they know that white women going choose up on a light skinned dude. They'll literally do that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've seen it myself. Hell, even when I go out and have fun, even like again, just like random people, they look at me with that same disdain, and it's like I know what it is. I know what it is.
Yeah, I've seen black men, dark skinned black men, and white men literally team up on light skinned dudes. So this whole light skinned black people don't go through colorism. Colorism is a made up term. It wasn't even popularized in 2012. That word was only meant to benefit them. That's why they came up with a definition of it that only benefit them. What it really is just discrimination. When they say light skins can't go through colorism, it's basically saying that they can't go through discrimination, which is a complete lie. Which is very, that's not true. And we see it every day that we go through discrimination. Not only for my own, but also in the workforce or wherever. Some of you brothers, y'all don't feel, especially the mixed race brothers, they probably don't feel accepted. They get discriminated against. But that's why we need, especially as the men, the light skinned black men or whatever, we need our own spaces like this to speak about certain topics. That's what I wanted to really do. But
Shouts out to
Hey,
you.
what's going
How you
on, Ether?
doing?
But yeah, though, but it's like, and that's the thing too. I mean, hell, even again, not just the men, but hell, even the women experience that as well.
yeah,
And
yeah. I
that's
see.
just why, and this is why spaces like this, again, to us, I mean, even to me, it's very important because I've been in spaces, right, where hell, where you call it the roast sectors or beef sectors or what have you, and there's a times where somebody just out of the blue would just start making uh, out of the blue comment about MLS people, and I'm like, what? What does that got
Oh,
to do with anything?
they don't want
And
me in this roast stuff. I'm telling you,
yeah,
I ain't
you're
seen.
right.
I go far too. Like I mean, we grew up doing this. We eat at the dinner table. That's all we do.
Yeah,
But I mean, yeah, I've seen it with the women. Like I've seen a lot, bro. Like my parents are like both my parents are light skinned. So like
Oh
I've
man.
seen all type of stuff. Like it's a lot of stuff y'all don't know about. Like during the crack epidemic and stuff. And I'm from the South. Like it's real bad down here. Like it's like the color stuff is real bad. Like the entitlement issue. They even have an entitlement issue over us, bro. Like it's crazy.
I remember
Like
I was
but
talking about that at the beginning of the stream. It's like I said, people have entitlements to us. Like they think that we're always supposed to be just sitting around and helping out their causes and their ideologies when they're not helping us out. It's like it's a one-way street. And
yeah,
it's like if you don't do it, then you're just labeled as a sellout, a coon. Oh, you're just trying to pander to your white side and all that stuff. And it's like, ah,
you can't don't let them get to you, man. Um like for the colorism stuff, like my mom is light skinned, right? And like she's been like we all from the hood, so like she
um,
had to deal with a lot of jealousy, like a lot of jealousy from women, especially from black women, dark skinned sisters. And like my mom would get in a lot of fights. My mom, she's real good at fighting too. She had to be, but I remember one time, like this dark skinned sister that she was messing with out of nowhere. She was jealous of her the whole time, and the guy showed her some attention, and she got fed up with it because she felt like she was always getting outshined when she was sitting next to my mom. So she ended up taking a rock and hitting my mom in the middle of her head with it. It's
whoa,
like her head open, and I was like 8. I was like probably 9 or 10, and then like she was leaking. There was a fight, and then my mom was damn near unconscious. Like it was a lot of stuff that I've seen regarding to that. Shaming rituals that they put us through. All type of now it's just everybody now across the earth, the planet Earth. But you know,
I'm like that. You know what? Yeah, my mom had that exact same experience. Like she grew up, fighting both men and women.
yeah,
whoa.
And even she tells me stuff now that I'm just like, wow, like there's some of the stuff that I won't even necessarily really put out here on Front Street in front of people, but just the stuff that again about her growing up, happening to deal with this, and that, and the third, and even she tells me now, it's like, yeah, but the majority of the discrimination that I have faced basically came from dark skinned black women. With all due respect to them, but it's like, hey, let's just call it for what it is.
yeah,
And I
Jealousy is
mean,
a hell of a
yeah,
drug.
jealousy is hell, and ego is one hell of a drug.
yeah, yeah. That's part of their nature. Like women are jealous by nature. That's just in their DNA. So it can
And
go
my
too far.
even my dad told me stuff about, yeah, and he even told me, yeah, I literally got hate mail because I was with your mom.
Yeah,
I could imagine how bad it was probably in like the 70s and 60s.
yeah.
The
Like
racial
back.
tensions were at an all-time high.
Yeah, back in the days, it was a different though, like, 'cause you actually seen like a lot of us in large abundance. Like, you seen light skinned Negro families and things like that. There was a lot of them, but then I think I say from like the crack epidemic era up, it's been it's been wild. Like, it was a
And
lot of stuff.
and I was pretty much born pretty much almost at the end of the crack epidemic era. I was born in '87, and
Yeah,
yeah, but fortunately for me, because I had like this strong family structure that Weakness again, they never really tampered into, but they pretty much, again, kept a close eye almost on everybody. So
mm,
hell, even including us, even though my brother and my sister, like we knew that not to necessarily go down that route.
yeah,
Yeah. And because we did so much moving, because my dad being in the military, which he just retired around 2018.
mhm,
So again, me being from the South and being raised in the Pacific Northwest, and I'll tell you, again, me moving to the Pacific Northwest, I really a lot of stress was relieved from me because of what I faced down south.
yeah.
People ridiculing you, calling you gay, calling you this, and
Yeah,
you
the
just,
ignorance is down here from this.
what's that?
The ignorance down here is crazy. Like, it's, man, the South is is real bad here for light skinned so-called black people. Like, you don't see us in the same room with each. I mean, unless we in school or something. But like, you don't even see us. They got us. I saw they got them the dark skinned Negroes down here. Got them spooked down here. Like they, so they scared to talk to each other.
Yeah.
Like you
And,
should see black men and women that dog. They act like they are afraid to talk to each other. Like they won't even look at each other, even if they want. Like even though they deep down inside really want to.
yeah, because again, that backlash that they're gonna face.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I think it's gotten a lot worse nowadays. Honestly, if you ask
Oh
me.
yeah, it's real bad now. But I think it's good though because I feel like it's going over time. It's going to afford. We're not going to have no choice. So, but we're not going to have a choice but to like come together. At least the brothers are.
Yeah, and though, and that right there, again, that for me, that was just the start. We're not gonna always see eye to eye on stuff, but it does have to start somewhere.
Yeah.
Because for so long we've been browbeated and gaslit, projected on for so long to where, I mean, even now, back then, even in this space where you'll have people like, we never spoke up. How come we never spoke up? Because we were browbeaten and gaslit to not
Yeah.
speak up.
Yeah. Mock. So.
And we didn't really have spaces where we could speak up.
Yeah,
Most of the spaces were we were pretty much in other people's spaces that really just gave us only the red carpet for like a little bit of time before they pulled the red carpet back.
Yeah. Like I want to
so,
get.
so
I want to give a light skinned brother some game too, cause like I see a lot of light skinned brothers down here, man. They think they have to be like this super macho thug type of dude, to like fit in somewhere, especially down here. And like, bro, y'all don't have to do that, like at all, to be like desired or anything. Like, all y'all gotta do is be charismatic and learn how to code a conversation. Like a lot of light skinned brothers, they're very intelligent, but they don't know how to communicate with people at all. And I think that comes from like us being like, not being able to trust people so much, you know, not being able to, share our experiences and things like that. But they don't.
yeah, because again, like hell, because even what I've been through, yeah, again, I've been known to be not necessarily trustworthy of a lot of folks. Because I myself have been fucked over so many
Yeah,
times where I'm just like, you know what, whatever. But
Yeah,
I
I
can
don't.
still like I can still try to carry on the conversation with people, like say, hey, what's up, how you doing? And
Yeah, like that's like me.
and
Like that's just like me. Like I don't mess with nobody for like all people in my school. Like I mess with like really nobody. Like I didn't cut off a lot of people, and then like I'm a loner too. Like I'm not like a recluse, but I get out and go out like I did today. I'm not a recluse or nothing, but man, I just stay to myself because I mean, so much stuff. Is you can't really trust nobody out here like that, especially these days.
Yeah, a lot of these folks got a lot of stuff going on. And all it takes is being at the wrong place at the wrong time, and they can end pretty bad for you.
oh yeah.
Getting wild out here.
Okay, so I got the link down. So does anybody else want to hop up on this panel? We got a pretty good conversation going here. There's the link right there. Reading some of these comments, I know people are all shades experience abuse, but the Black community hates when we talk about the unique experience as people have with abuse. Facts.
Yeah, with me, man, like even though like they tell you that you can't do stuff, I'm the type of dude like I do something just because you tell me I can't do it, just to make you mad about it. I wasn't that kind of guy. So and like I know how to argue back and like I got a mouthpiece on me. You probably don't seem like it, but like I'm really good at being from where I'm from. You gotta have it. You ain't gotta learn how to fight. Like you can intimidate these dudes just by talking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you'd be surprised how many dudes I just like intimidated just by talking, not doing nothing, not fighting, not doing nothing, just talking. And just having a mouthpiece, just being able to counter certain stuff. It's really everything is really just about having a mouthpiece, bro. If you're a light skinned brother, you handsome and stuff. If you have a mouthpiece, the world is literally your oyster. I'm telling you, a lot of brothers they don't, they don't really.
Not too many of us realize that though.
Yeah, if you got a mouthpiece, you can get. If light skinned black man had a, if we the average light skinned brother have a mouthpiece, like we can do so many things. If they just work, because most light skinned brothers we don't need it. Like we get attention whenever we want for the most part. Dark skinned brother they gotta have the mouthpiece. Because they didn't have the swag and the mouthpiece, they wouldn't nobody pay attention to them. Even I was watching the brother Tommy Sotomayor. He's his crazy self.
Yo, yeah.
I remember him. I remember Aries Spears. Him and Aries. It's when what's the dude's name? Aries. It was an Aries Spears episode where he went on to Corey Holcomb and the
Oh
light skin
yeah,
brother.
yeah.
He stole off on Aries Spears. But
Oh
then
yeah, you talking about Zoe Williams?
yeah, Zoe Williams. That's the brother's name.
Yeah,
And
Zoe Williams beat that ass up on Corey Holcomb show.
yeah, I watched
And
that. It's crazy.
and
And
I'll be
I
thinking,
remember,
hey, I'll be thinking, one of these days, hell, DJ Envy probably gonna muster up the courage and probably take off on Charlemagne the God like that
yeah,
because of shit that he be talking.
yeah. But like years later, I remember Zoe Williams and him got in an argument last year sometime when he was like, I ain't Aries Spears. And he's like, you ain't gonna do it to me. And like even like Tommy Sotomayor was just like, you see how he talk to the light skinned dude like that? Like
Yeah,
and the light skinned dude's all humble, sitting there quiet. And Tommy was like, yeah, because he's not used to that. He's not used to having a mouthpiece. He's not used to, like the dark skinned dude. The dark skinned dude's fat, ugly, loud. He's sitting there cussing them out. The light skinned brother sitting there humble, all quiet. He said just because he's not used to doing it. He's not used to. Maybe he come from an environment where he's not used to it, or maybe he just like a lot of odds is probably stacked up against him as well. So when you rely on other people, man, you can't really be. Yes, you can't really flex your power or nothing. Like when you over integrate with people, you can't flex your power at all. Like even in like the workforce, you said you brothers have jobs and stuff. You can't say what you want to say because you work for somebody.
Exactly.
So like it's kind of like the brother LeVar Ball.
Oh
LeVar
yeah,
Ball.
man. You know what and they hate LeVar Ball with a passion because it's like, hey, yo, look, and even he'll tell his own sons, hey, yo, look, nobody ain't gonna be in your corner like I'm gonna be in your corner, and I will, rally up behind y'all. I will be y'all's voice versus people that want to. Hell, they'll put me down all day, no problem. But you know me, I can take it. So they mad because they necessarily can't control me like they can control other people. And so it made my respect for him, like in a way, just
You
I'm
know,
like, wow.
you know
But
who
go
Shannon
ahead.
Sharp is?
Yep.
You notice like Shannon Sharp is he's intimidated by LeVar Ball. You can just tell, like, and it's just based off the mouthpiece that he has. He's not scared of, he can talk like that because he owns his own stuff. A
Yeah.
lot of brothers, we need owner stuff. We need our own stuff. We need our own spaces. We need our own, that'll give us the confidence to do stuff. We can be with our dark skinned brothers and stuff as well, but we need our own thing.
Okay, I'm reading this comment where MLS people said, what I find most baffling is non-black women speaking down on MLS men in favor of dark-skinned men, but then trying to have MLS children with those dark-skinned men. If you don't like us, then if you don't like MLS men, stop having MLS children.
Well, that's two things. That's just part of the spiritual energy of black women. But who
Right.
knows? They could be trying to impress them. They know that a lot of dark skinned brothers they can sometimes feel very inadequate around light skinned brothers. So they just try to, if you notice in the black community, man, everybody goes off the emotions of black men of a dark hue. So like to coddle, you notice that they're coddled by everybody. Like light skinned black men are not coddled at all. Like everything that we got, bro, we get it out of the mud.
But then we'll still say we have privilege or light skin privilege. I'm like, no, we
This is
don't.
not. It's not like, bro. If you look at all the so-called Black American billionaires, then all of them are dark skinned. The men, especially. Like it's like their population is greater than ours. Like we're not coddled at all. Like I know light skinned black men here in this where I'm at, who is like, that's discriminated against so much. Like I remember like this one cat, he was like the fastest dude on the football team. This dude wouldn't even. It was a black coach. It was a white coach. They wouldn't even let him play because he was light skinned. And he was the most talented
What?
out of everybody. I swear.
Whoa.
Wow.
Really? Well,
Yeah,
I have
especially
heard of
back in the
that.
day, they used to do stuff like that. They used to joke about stuff like that, especially dark skinned black men. They're like, man, he can't throw tackle with us. I can't bring him around me. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of black brothers go through that. That ain't really nothing. So it's a lot
I
of stuff that
do
we get blackballed from. Like, yeah,
I
you
do
could be the most
remember
talented. Go ahead. My bad.
I do remember reading a comment from somebody on a video about Steph Curry where they did used to say that some of the coaches admitted that they used to discriminate against MLS men.
Yeah, I think it was Shannon Sharp who said that. He said, "Don't." Shannon Sharp actually said that. He said, "We." His granddaddy said something like that. He said, "Don't. We don't recruit light skinned guys because they're not tough." He said that. He actually said that. Now I think about it. I think it was with the Chris Broussard was on there.
Yeah.
He said,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, Chris
they want to
Broussard.
date light. Yeah, they want to date light skinned women, something like that. But you know, but yeah, I mean, we go through a lot of stuff that nobody really knows about, and some people do know. They just have such a disdain or some type of jealousy so much that they don't really care. A lot of
And
these
you know
people.
what?
Go ahead.
Do y'all remember the movie The Last Dragon?
I think I've
Yeah,
seen some of it.
Yeah. Now the lead actor, Ty Mack, who of course is, half black and half Italian. and they were getting ready when the first Last Dragon. Well, when Last Dragon became successful, they were in the process of doing a sequel, and he had met with Suzanne DePass, and Suzanne DePass told him that nobody's going to be interested or invested in, you know, someone of your caliber. I'm like, so if that's so, well, then why is he, you know, again, talented at martial arts then, and as well have an aura or presence about it that he, you know, he could fuck up in plain sight if he wanted to. But the thing is like, well, if that's the case, well, then, you know what, hell, I don't have, then I walk away, no questions asked.
Yeah.
I always wonder why. It just goes back to what I said earlier in the stream. I always wonder why he didn't have a bigger career than he did. He really only had that one movie, and that was about it.
Did y'all ever see the Ernie Davis movie?
Which one?
A movie about called 21. It's Ernie Davis.
No, I've never heard of it.
Dude, he was a running back. He was a beast. He was a running back at Syracuse, but he caught leukemia and died early, like at the age of 21. That's probably what I'm saying, 21. Something like that. And like they had a dark skinned black man, and I want to actually consider the wife, the actor, the wife dark skin, but she was on the darker side. But they had them portraying the real characters, and it took me since I got older to this age to realize they were light skinned Negroes.
You said Ernie Davis, huh?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to look into that.
He was a light skinned black man, and she was even lighter. His wife was even a little lighter than he was, but the whole time they got him as a dark skinned black man. They do it a lot. It's more episode stuff too as well that they did because I forgot about.
I think Hollywood does it because I guess they feel that MLS men don't really. How can I guess they feel like MLS men can't be marketed as black as much as dark skinned men can. So a lot of times we get the brunt of the reverse paper bag test in Hollywood, you could say.
Yeah. That's why I hate the term black, because it doesn't denote nationality, tribe, culture. It's just a made up term that was forced on our people. And like in the Bible it speaks about this. It says that somewhere I forgot, it says that his people will go by a name, and that name will cause a lot of confusion. And that's what black is. Like our people aren't black, they come in various shades of brown. It's like any other nation of people. Look at the Nigerians in Africa, look at the Ethiopians, look, they all come in various shades of brown. It's like our nation of people.
It definitely makes sense when you put it that way.
Yeah, but the Bible, it doesn't speak about complexion as race. It speaks about nationality and tribe. It's a lot of stuff that you don't know. Well, I don't want to say y'all don't know about, because y'all probably do. I don't know, but like I already touched on that though. But I know how the Caucasian came into rulership and everything. Why they doing? It's all type of stuff. I'm gonna do a history lesson. I'm gonna try to get back on my YouTube stuff and post more videos.
Right.
People hate.
But I know it's gonna be real. It's gonna be real offensive though, but just to some people maybe.
You might.
Yeah, they do.
Have you ever thought maybe of, if it's like that, maybe to keep from YouTube nuking your channel, maybe you could start like a Patreon or something?
Yeah, that's what I thought about doing. Once I build like my audience some more, I was gonna start a Patreon and branch out, so like it won't be as censored.
Yeah, with your Patreon, then you can just post whatever, and it's not like YouTube where people can just flag you down and then take all your stuff down.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, man, like when you see a cocky light skinned brother, man, a confident light skinned brother, whatever, people, everybody get intimidated. Even women get intimidated by that because, like, they already intimidated by how handsome we are. But maybe if you like that towards men, like it might that turn them on, bro. A light skinned brother to a dark skinned brother and out tongue wrestle them. Just
Yeah, because they definitely gotta be on your P's and Q's at all times. So,
yeah. Yeah, LeVar Ball, something else.
I never knew that about Devin Booker.
Yeah, Devin Booker is. Whew, he always talking crazy.
Well, he's doing his thing. You got to give it to him. Made it to the finals.
There he is.
Number 1 seed. Looking like he might make it to the finals again. The way that team is.
Yeah. Yeah, I know that you're a Kobe guy, ain't you?
Who a Kobe guy?
Brown and Bays.
Oh,
You said
I
what?
think so. You're a Kobe guy?
Oh, yeah, Kobe. Yeah.
I remember watching a live stream a while ago. You said that when I was in here.
Yeah, Kobe had made that comment. I think like it was like right in the middle of his career where he said to go into the hole like a light skinned dude.
Yeah, I remember that.
And then it's like you looked at Kobe and it's like all his kids were with Vanessa Bryant, who was Mexican. So it's like, okay. But you've got your daughters aren't black like you, so it's like, okay.
Yeah. Oh, I watched it on. I remember all that stuff when Kwame Brown popped off. It was crazy. I watched the videos on that too a while ago when it came out. I want to touch on Kwame Brown too.
Oh yeah, Kwame.
Oh, he went off.
Kwame
I agree with a
Brown.
lot. I agree with a lot of stuff he said though, but he went off on Matt Barnes the most. Matt Barnes didn't even really do nothing to really deserve all that though. But
Well, again, it just goes back to Kwame Brown. No, he can say stuff about him, and he knows nobody's really going to check him for it except me. Like,
yeah,
that was the only. I was really the only one that really checked him for what he had said about him.
yeah. I got all type of jokes with Kwame. Saying something to me like that. Matt Barnes he's a corporate Negro, so he gotta he can't say what he want to say, and he's always surrounded by dark skinned dudes, so he can't say much.
Yeah, that's the problem. It's like if you say you clap back, it's like you're outnumbered most of the time, and
Yeah.
you can't really look to like other MLS brothers to help you out because a lot of times they're going to be right along with the dudes that are talking about you a lot of times.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a crazy time. I remember when that first happened. It was crazy. I mean, when he tapped the dude. I mean, it wasn't that much for him to go off on his kids and his wife and that was a little much. Even though I agree with him on a lot of stuff he said, but it was more so Steven Jackson. That's who really did it. And then he went off on Gilbert. Like Gilbert didn't say nothing, but him and Gilbert really low key friends. They really like each other. But,
They never really liked each other when they were on the Wizards anyway.
yeah, but you can tell it's like a frenemy type of thing. Like I feel like he really don't like Matt Barnes. Like he can't stand Matt Barnes. But like with Gilbert, like he talks with Gilbert on the phone.
Yeah, true.
Like I think even sometimes Gilbert like his picture.
He said, "Book talk a lot of trash." Yeah, Book is definitely a trash talker.
Hey y'all, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna step down real quick. Hey, I appreciate being a part of the convo.
Oh man,
Like,
Avar, you always welcome on my panels, brother.
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure. We definitely gonna do this one again.
Nice talking to you, man.
Yeah,
Same here. And again, hopefully I can check your channel out. Whenever you start posting content.
Yeah, I got some on there right now, but it's not really in depth. But it's just kind of like game on certain stuff.
Oh,
I
okay.
post.
yeah. I'm probably gonna get on ready to probably shut the stream down. We're like right around like the 3 hour mark.
Oh
Yes.
yeah.
And getting kind of late. Got to get ready for work again tomorrow.
I'll talk to you brothers later. It was nice talking to you guys.
Oh
Oh,
yeah, you
same
too.
here, man.
I'll once the stream was over, I'll probably share the link to your channel in my community tab.
Yes, yeah, I appreciate that. I'm definitely try to get active more on this YouTube stuff because it's gonna be needed. Scripture say don't hide knowledge from your brother. You sell it for free, for the most part. So appreciate you, but I'll see you guys soon. Talk to you guys soon.
Alrighty, man.
All right,
Take
see you
care.
later. Appreciate it, fair minded. Well, all right then, AMR. Good
All
talking
right
to you.
there, man. It was good chatting with you. And everybody in the chat, know what's up. Thank you for, being a
Thanks
part
for
of it.
thanks for dealing with our craziness again.
I thought, you gonna say this for not Man Cave Mondays.
Don't worry. Man Cave Monday will be back probably right around the time the draft starts. Probably talk my trash, talk my ish again.
Okay.
Probably go have the number one pick again. So we gotta talk a little trash, probably troll a few people a little bit.
Oh yeah. Especially some of these well-known trolls, these career trolls.
Yeah, we go troll them real good when the NFL draft come around.
Oh yeah. Sure, I just can't wait.
Gotta get the popcorn ready, get the chips, get the dip, bring
And
the
the barbecue.
the aunties, the uncles. 'Cause we gonna be roasting some folks.
Dude, probably go to hell. And I normally don't rage, but I probably might, end up doing maybe a little bit of it, basically to clear up some of the misconceptions.
Right.
And I'm just like, at this point, I'm just like seriously, again, like hell, people attaching my face to certain things that's not. Oh, like I said, some of these trolls need their ass whooped at the end of the day.
And even that's getting off easy with a lot of them.
But they need some act right though.
But don't worry, they go get theirs. Karma is really something, and is undefeated.
Most definitely. All right then, man. I'm gonna go ahead and drop for a bit.
Well, all right then, man. Good
All
talking to you.
right then. Same here.
Well, on that note, I'm probably gonna call it a night, everybody. And it's good to have a nice conversation going. And just to clarify a few couple of things, and don't take the like woman part the wrong way. Clarify probably a little bit what Nate Turner was saying. We're only talking about women that was in like more like broken like relationships, not like women in general. So I just want to clarify that, and make sure some people don't try to get like all twisted and everything. And I'm not saying what I'm saying just to be bashing people. It's just acknowledgement. That's all it is. We're just acknowledging what has been going on for years, generations upon generations. And we're just telling our stories. And that's what this space is always has and always will be about. Telling the stories of MLS folks, men and women, and all the stuff we go through and have been going through for years upon years. But anyways, guys, thanks for joining. And make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And keep your eyes out for some more content coming soon. Because got some straight fire coming. Make sure you stay tuned for that. And have a good night, everybody.